My brother, you've been lost. Malik in Adenta. Greetings to you and the Greco crew. Dogbe Drake, I see you. Emmanuel T. Mensah, there you are. Tony Awuvi, I see you in North Kaneshi. Isaac James in Abokobi. K.O. in Dansoman. Kelvis Dunkling in Awushi. Frederick Frimpong Bafi. Lennox Ado. Tofik from Tuxman. Dr. Titus Bayo, there you are. Where your politics, you are dogging me. That's been a while. Doctor. The politicians have taken you away from me. East, Zenab Isaka, Mr. Seth Kisi, Mr. Peter Balano, all of the Ga East Municipal. Thanks for doing the listening. Nanaya Wamachi Opoku from Koforia, Eric Makte in Tema. Dr. Cynthia Tego. Once a sister, always a sister, Ariel Enchi. Roasting crying inside Bubuashe. Hajiman Joseph Community 9. Me who was Mama Kyo. Special prosecutor could call me, summon me on this one. Sherman Asantua mixing, I haven't seen you, but I'm marking you. Odote missing in action. To the Yoku sisters, thanks for being loyal. Reverend Kwabena Mustafa, happy birthday to you. Reverend Dr. Kwabena Mustafa of Yendi, a man with an interesting story. My parents says Jesus was coming, so there was no need to send him to school. We asked Jesus, he turned out to be a very brilliant man of God. Dr. Mubarak Ahmed, listening from University of Nottingham, UK. Kwame Adom, I hear you and I see you. All the way from Tinkong is Stephen Jampo. Where are the Canadians and where are the Germans? Where are the Americans? Where's my brother from Saudi Arabia? William Thomason from the Peninsula and the CDH. Nana Free from Peninsula and CDH. Nana Ansah Kwao IV to the third. Akwamuhine. Sean Audi Motown, I just seen you. Florencia in Nungwa. Teresa from Tema, I've just seen you. So says my boss. Says playtime is over. Ohene Nana Dr. Letitia Adelaide appear. Just in time. Well, we start the way we start. Folks, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. Well, folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Welcome and hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa, and I say thank God it's Monday. Welcome to the Monday evening ritual, which you should not miss. By now you know that it's the ritual of education. Only on Joy 99.7 FM. Today our topic is what happened to customer service. What happened to customer service? At this point I say let us all gather and make truth good. Probably you want to stick the message on your platforms and get everybody to tune in, because it's one of those topics that you get to engage after the show. Folks, we have talked about Ghanaian companies that don't go beyond the first generation on the show. And indeed, it really seems as though every generation has to start afresh by setting up its own new businesses. Instead of adding up to what our fathers created, no, we replace. Most of the big names are no more. The Boachi mattresses and the Coles motors and, all these big names that we came to meet and they were doing marvelous seem to just disappear. Folks, we have also talked about how in other jurisdictions, they pride themselves with the dates of how long they've been in service. Shops who sell to royal families who display the royal emblems to prove and show off to the world that they look after the very best. Since 1888, open since 1920, open since 1964. Look, you could go to a cobbler, shoemaker, Boho Kakra, open since 1975. Shoemaker, nane sign Boho. Ni papa ne starti and bana babetwaso. Folks, here it just could be a blue kiosk. that used to serve the community. Manti blue kiosk. You buy a bit of tomatoes, bit of tin tomatoes, a bit of this, a bit of. I mean, it's always as soon as the woman dies, that's it. Shop no. It could be as simple as a shop, not complicated. Just simple shop. Goes to the market, puts the thing in. The people in the locality come to patronize it. Well, as soon as the woman dies, that's the end of it. Folks, as a chief, right, and one who adores traditions, and that I don't need to tell you that. Sometimes even I get fed up with the long, drawn-out, monotonous reception protocols. Folks, I think they don't reflect the sign of the times. Now just imagine this, right? We could be sat in court discussing a matter, and for clarification, a name pops up. So we send for the person to come and clear things for us. We send Gochiami to go and get him. Depending on how serious the matter is, he will go with a bottle of gin and his staff, or go casually to go inform the person. So we are still there deliberating. The person we send for arrives. The Ochiami who went to call him, will stand up and announce that we have a visitor. And he's seeking permission to greet the elders seated. Permission granted. Ochiami will lead him. He will shake hands everyone there, and he will do so from the very extreme right. Those of you who sometimes get into public places or like traditional setting and get all confused, always just greet from the extreme right all the way around. So you learn something. Now, when he gets to the king, he will bare his shoulders and kick off his sandals. That's if he's wearing a cloak. If not, he will courtesy enough to show extra respect for the king. Then he's offered a seat. One of the elders seated, or the Ochiami will announce that, Nana, our guest is seated. Without asking, they will offer him water or drink. If it's water, the reason is that he may be under attack and he's running away. Therefore, we may need to give him water to cool down and then hide him from his enemies. If the offer is a drink, the excuse is that if he came to meet people beating us, he would help us to fight. So if he has come and there's no fight and we are having a drink, even the better, get some. In both instances, refusal is not the best thing. So, you just accept it, take a little sip if you don't want it. Then and only then will your Ochiami stand up and say, Openya Asante, the king and elders welcome you. Now that is also a handshake. Now the Ochiami cannot do the handshake alone, so a few of the elders seated will get up and join him to welcome him. Then the Ochiami will ask Openya Asante, what's his mission at the palace? What brings you here? For real? Asante like a real was going through this. What brings me here? And you want also my friend, you say, what brings me here? But obviously, you can't say that aloud. You can just think it in your head. Openya Asante will then narrate what he has done since morning. He went to the farm, he fed his animals, settled the marriage dispute between Ama and Kofi, just finished breakfast that his wife cooked, and when Ochiami came and told him that he was wanted at the palace, he was supposed to go to the next town to do something, but he dropped everything, and now here he is at the palace. Ochiami too will tell him what we have done in the morning since the deliberation, and that's how come his name popped up and he was sent for him. At this point, I will tell him why I sent for him. Folks, truth be told, I like tradition, but I cut it short. If I send for you, I will tell you straight why I sent for you. The only thing I will allow you is to greet and sit. Don't tell me what you've been doing, and I'm not going to tell you what I've been doing. After all, I sent for you. Folks, we are a people who really fuss over visitors. It's in our DNA. So all this narration and going on, this elaborate, I'm even cutting it short. All this narration, it's in our DNA. So why is customer service so terrible? What happens between our homes and palaces and our workplace that suddenly when we get to work, we seem to lose everything? Now I know, the palace setting, this is a palace setting. And, but in many homes, there are similar welcome rituals. Many may not be as long and as elaborate as you get to the palace, but the principle of greeting, offering you a seat, some palm wine, or maybe food. If you go and meet them eating, they will tell you, and then your purpose, before they ask you, why are you even here? And sometimes they even say, so it's like, we know your mission here, but let's just ask. Maybe something else has come up. We know you called to say you're coming to borrow, the cutlass, you're coming to borrow a car key, you're coming to borrow the pickup, but maybe from that time to now, you want something else. So what happens? I'm telling you, in most homes, this ritual still persists. It's still there. Mostly if you go to a 1-week funeral, you turn up in your black, there's a big picture of the person dead and everything. You sit down, they bring you water, and then a small party will come to you and say, what is your mission here? You then say, look, we heard of this news. We are here to verify ourselves if it's true. And then they tell you it is true. So even in the obvious of circumstances, we provide customer service. So what happens to us when we get to the shops and our businesses? What happens to us? Folks, now, if you are at your workplace, the customer coming that does not care if you have a broken heart, whether you lost your mother, your child is sick. Indeed, if the customer is a Muslim and you are a Christian and Jesus has just come, he can't be bothered. He is a customer. And at that time, he's your king. Whether he's buying a sachet of water or a bar of pure gold, he's your king. Folks, this person is the one paying your rent. He's the one paying your child's school fees, your hospital bills, your transportation, your monthly wage. This person is your king. And you have to see and treat him as such. He's not there seeking or asking for favors. Indeed, the reason why you woke up in the morning, took your bath and dressed to go into that shop or workplace is so that this person comes to patronize the service. So when he comes, why do we all of a sudden turn around? And it's from the basic to the big, telcos. And you call them and you think, look, my data is vanishing and what's happening? You go to a shop, you want to purchase something and will be few. So what happens? What between that cultural setting that we have where we fast over visitors and even ask visitors that we know their mission, we still go ahead to find out, say, we know your mission, but we're still asking you why you are here. What happens? Folks, then the phone manners. Oh, my days. The phone manners. So it's ring, ring. Hello. And then you say hello. And then they also say hello. So you then ask, is this Joy FM? You ask. And then they say yes. Wow. And then you ask, maybe, may I speak to this person because I have this issue? Well, hold on. And then they put you through. So let's say you call and say, listen, I placed the advert. My advert was supposed to play at 6 o'clock, but I waited till 6 o'clock and it didn't come on. And this is, what do I do? Oh, I'll put you through to the maybe marketing manager. Even before you say, what's the name of marketing manager? The line is ringing. So somebody picks up. Well, hello, says, hello. Well, I was wondering if you can help me. And it's like, I help you with what? So, well, didn't the lady who transferred the call tell you what's happening? No. Well, I'm Nana Ansah Kwao. I placed an advert and it was supposed to play at 6 and it didn't play at 6. Hold on, it's not me. Then they transfer you. Then the next person picks up, hello. Can you help you with, please. Can you imagine? You pick up a phone, the customer complaints, if you're going to transfer the call, you don't tell the customer, listen, I'm transferring you to Abeku. He's in charge of placement of adverts and he will deal with you. So you then say, hold on 1 second, you call Abeku, I have Nana Ansah Kwao on the phone. His advert wasn't placed at 6. He's not a very happy person. I'm putting him through, see how you sort him out. So when Abeku picks up the call, he should just say, oh, hello, Nana Ansah Kwao. I'm very, very sorry. How can I help you? I hear your advert wasn't played. I'll look. So at least I know that, oh, yeah, baby, crama me. You transfer. So they can transfer you 3 times and you tell your story 3 times. How can that be possible in the workplace? Now, I'm just using Joy FM to be safe. I'm not going to mention Obiadi. But it happens in so many, big companies that you expect. That people pick up a phone and say, look, you're calling from that company, this is my name, and how can I help you? So, folks, you narrate everything. No, I can't. Well, no, the voice comes on. Hello, and then you just go on and on and on and on. And so you realize that people are dealing with companies because there are no emotional attachments. You see, they're not creating that emotional attachment that will guarantee the sustenance of businesses. So businesses that are supposed to be now dealing with the West African sub-region, office because there's a queue of people coming every day, to them it's fine. But you realize that with the products they are doing and the services they are doing, by now they should be in all 10 regions or all 16 regions and probably, Benin and Nigeria and everywhere. But it's not growing. It's just that we don't have any options, so we deal with them. So the day the owner dies, scribble, the company dies. Because, folks, you see, one thing that I don't get, and I've said it here before, is the number of people queuing up for jobs. People just want to be police, immigration, soldier, everything, just to guarantee wages. That doesn't mean he wants to shoot anybody or wants a gun or catch a thief, just to guarantee some sanity. The number of people queuing up. And yet, the lucky few who get the opportunity are so carefree. It's that maybe the owners themselves don't know, or truly finding good workers is nearly impossible to Nyabia. Then you just keep it like that. Folks, are we mystery shopping? Are companies mystery shopping? Just send somebody to pretend to be a customer to see how people work. And if they fail on customer service, deduct it from their wages so that people set up. Because at one point or the other, we are all customers. At one point or the other, we all become customers. Don't chew gum when customers are in front of you. Don't shout across the room, hey, Abeku, do we still have milk? Please, walk quickly and find out from him what it is you need and come back quickly and inform the customer. Don't shout across. Don't engage in private calls or casual conversations in front of the customer. Hello, I'm just here to buy something and go. I don't care about your banku and your pepe. Now I went to one shop, right? And I wanted to buy wine glasses. And it's like 100 CDs or 120 CDs, and this is 50%, so now it's 60 CDs or something. I thought, well, good, I want 2. I get to the till and the girl says, oh, well, I'm sorry, it's 120. I said, well, I'm sorry, it's not 120, it's 60 CDs. Oh, no. Then he turns the till to me. I said, I don't care. It's on your label, on your till, it's 60 CDs. So manager 1 comes. Oh, please, I beg you. I said, no, I've had a very long day. Manager 2 comes. I said, my brother, if you're not careful, I'll go and pick 2 more. If you drag this matter, I'll quickly go there and pick 2 more and buy 4 instead of the 2. I am not paying a penny more. And back and forth. I said, listen, I've had a really bad day. and I'm not paying a penny more. It says 60 cedis, and I buy 60 cedis. And the reason was that when I went in the shop, they were sitting on buckets, they were chatting, talking. I mean, everybody's just having a leisure, just a picnic. And see, if the offer is over, instead of just peeling off the offer, it's still there for 60 cedis, upu, 60 cedis. And so the big shops, the Melcoms, the China malls, the Palaces, that's when you find all these lazy young people just loitering with intent. Literally loitering with intent, talking, always busy talking, nothing to do with the work. But we must change. And then that spirit which we at home will be here. We are all busy, want to please the person, make him comfortable. What happened? What happened? And salesperson is in front of you, going to show you an aisle, and then I from chada. Hey, you can't pick your feet up and walk briskly with purpose. You can't pick your feet up and walk briskly with purpose. Smart, create some urgency. I know this customer service issue there. But I don't know what the link between our traditional selves at home and our professional selves at our workplaces, being the informal all the way to the formal sector. Why is it that as soon as we get there, we think we are doing the customer a favor, but then when we are home, we think, oh, what happened? Greet with a smile at all times and say thank you very much, come again. I mean, that's only if you don't work in a funeral home. You can't tell somebody who comes to a funeral home, give him service and say, oh, come again, say, you want to go and kill somebody else from my family. It's a funeral home there, you can't say come again, but you say thank you very much for your service. Able to me, call back and find out how they're doing. If it's an official phone and it rings more than 3 times, kring, 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 when you pick up, apologize to the person. Oh, sorry for keeping you on the line. Because as soon as it rings, pring, it's over, but you may have been engaged. So pick it up and tell the person, sorry for keeping you on the line. If it's possible, pick it and say, can you hold a minute? I'll be back to you. Then go back to your original call. It's an official line. Everybody needs a contact one way or the other. And even when you're on the phone, you have to smile. Because when you smile on the phone, the other person on the other line knows you're smiling. They know you are smiling. And like I said, if you're going to transfer the call, get the name, get the issue, transfer it to the right department and tell them exactly why you're transferring the call so they don't have to come and tell the person to tell the whole life story again. Folks, I can go on and on and on and on and on. But I think it's your turn to go on. And it's 0302 216541. Okay, who's my first caller?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Kofi.
Kofi, let me hear you.
Okay, so the word is just what you said. Like, it's a favor offering a service to you. So that's how come the attitude comes in. It's not even in the ways we are looking at it. Look at in our state governance, right? So they say you vote for me, I come to serve you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they come, how many times do we have to beg them for them to do what they are supposed to do?
Hmm.
It's like they are doing us a favor. Just a Obana say, "Okwane enye no be trust my car." Just a waye biama umpo. Wo de wenyampo. When you see a baby biama, do you understand? So it goes way beyond what we are even looking. Me, I just had an experience that I guess the recent one is just last Saturday. Took some things to the laundry. I didn't know that they added some stuff that they weren't supposed to, because we can wash it in the house. So we're looking for it, didn't find it. Later on, I found out that they rather added it to the things that went to the laundry. So when I went to pick the stuff that I looked into it and realized it wasn't in it. So I just said, I know the things I bought, but apparently it looks like they added more than they were supposed to. The next thing that came from the lady's mouth was, boss, they buy and they buy no. And I was like, somebody packed the things, and the person is saying that this is what they added to it. Say she count the other buy and one. And I said, okay, fine. Because according to her, they check the things before, and I said, okay, fine. We are humans. There can be an oversight that maybe you might not see. So can you call the people where the things were washed for them to check or something? Nana, the way the lady was talking and the expression and the gestures, I was like, so I brought my things to you. This is what is happening. I hear what you are saying. So you can't even pick the phone and call and ask your people that, this is what the customer says, this and that. So when you are doing your work, can you check around to see if you see this kind of thing that the customer is describing? The lady says no. What to mean? It's not possible. You can't call them to ask them to check. Nana? And you see, the funny part is that the owner of the company, we know the owner of the company. So you can imagine. So they wanted to ask the person that, so your workers, if something like this happens, they can't do anything, they can't act. And I just told them that they should let it be. Because I know, you see, it's going to be a whole issue. They are going to be correct. And if you are not careful, you lose your job. Meanwhile, you need a job too. You see?
Thank you very much. 0302216541. And one thing about the new millennials is, Baba Nana, me pejuma, go and speak to because it's true for me. I really want the job. Nana, please. So you go and call because this is my nephew, this is my niece. Oh, she can do the job or he can do the job. Please. The next 2 weeks they'll call you. Nana, your nephew is not coming to work. Why? Oh, friend, I'm a guy. Are you serious? Ade supervise and be just like that. So you put your credibility on the line, thinking, okay, well, somebody says, Nana is credible. So if Nana is giving you a recommendation, let me hire you. What I know, but service. Hello, who's talking to me? 0302216541. Kwame says the most annoying part of all this is poor customer services when the person makes you feel like she is doing you a favor. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, this is Francis. Nana, good evening.
Francis, let me hear you.
Yes, I'm calling from Adenta.
Francis, let me hear you.
In fact, I just want to praise a lady who works at UCG. You know this UCG new line that if you want to do inquiry, you call the office. That code. In fact, the lady is so brilliant.
Oh, that's good.
I called that code twice, and how the lady responded. In fact, it was very different from all the telcos and other things. How do you call it? Police service, this MTN. The lady was like, anytime I ask the question, she would take time and walk me through and ask me again whether I have any challenges that I would like her to address for me.
Beautiful.
And I was like, wow.
Beautiful.
Just 2 days ago, the same thing. And a UCG guy came to my office, and he was trying to check my DNA, and I requested for his code. I checked it in the system, and the system was unable to verify the code. So I called the office, and this lady went me through and explained the things for me. So finally, I allowed the guy to check on the meter. In fact, I love her, So I just want to recommend her. Thank you very much,
Thank
Nana.
you very much too. I wish you had a name so that we can put her name out. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, this is Kwame.
Kwame.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Let me hear you.
Good evening, Nana, and good evening to all your listeners. I think that this topic you brought is very important. As for the experiences, I'm sure all of us have bad experiences, at places regarding poor customer service. There are many stories, and it's very appalling. But I think that we should try and attempt to look at a solution, what can be done. So I am thinking that training is key. I think that this training should start even from the universities. You'll be shocked that most of these people who offer poor customer service have actually gone through universities. They've had first degree, they've been employed, they've put on their CVs that they are this, and when they come, they mess up big time. So I'm thinking that if the universities can have a course, that before anybody comes out of the university, at least some 3-month course on customer service compulsory, it will help a lot because it is very serious. I entered a shop one day, and 2 attendants, after I had gone to pick my item from the shelf, place it on the counter for the people to take my money, the 2 attendants there were fighting. One of them took my item that I had placed on the counter and threw it at her friend. Hey. Can you believe that? Yes, it happened. And they didn't seem to bother about it. They couldn't even care about it. So I think that training is key. And if we factor this one in, it will help. So this is my contribution.
Thank you very much for the training issue. Good evening. I appreciate your program this evening. Yes, we really need to improve our customer services here in Ghana. But there was something you said which I thought was a bit offensive. You said if a Muslim comes and you are a Christian, even if Jesus comes, you should serve the customer. Are you saying that the customer is more important than Jesus to the shop owner? I understand the importance of customers, don't get me wrong, but please, some statements can be offensive to some people due to their beliefs. Thanks and keep up the good work. You didn't add your name, but it's just an exaggeration. Z from Nungwa is just an exaggeration. Jesus will never come when you are going to buy a bowl of kinky for the kinky woman to leave you and go to Jesus. So it's just an exaggeration to express that, listen, you can't take your personal burdens to work. So it's just an exaggeration. Don't take me serious there, please, on that one. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, this is Calvin. Hello?
Yes, sir. Who am I talking to?
Please, this is Calvin.
Kelvin, let me hear you.
Yes, I'm calling from Yendi.
Kelvin, Yendi. One of your pastor's birthday today, Mustafa.
Oh, okay.
Reverend Mustafa. Yes, Reverend Mustafa. Let me hear you.
Okay, yes. You were talking about the issue of malls keeping prices, promo prices that are outdated. Mm-hmm. I went to Melcom in Tamale, and then I went to pick this product. Mm-hmm. I saw 149.30 or something. Mm-hmm. When I got to the counter, it was 151 cedis. Can you imagine that? And so from that day, I don't fancy going to Melcom again. So it's almost like you pick the product, the price you see there. That is not what you are going to pay for. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. But as a customer, you have the right. So far as the price is displayed, that's what you pay. And so the same thing happened to me. I picked this, wine, six in a, thing, and I bought 2. So 12 glasses of, 12 wine glasses. Yeah. It's 120, 140. I don't care. It's 63 CDs or whatever it is on there. And that's what I'm paying. The manager one comes, manager two says, Master, we a mistake. I'll go and take 2 more at those prices because your staff are all there gossiping, chatting, and I said, Jack, pay. This is all I'm paying for. And I stood my ground because that's the customer's rights, Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana Kwesi.
Nana Kwesi, let me hear. I was waiting for you on this subject. I was waiting for you on this subject. Nana Kwesi, let me hear you.
Oh, the experience every day.
I know, right?
Yesterday I went to a wine shop to get some drinks for my some people who asked me to. So when I got there, I was trying to call them and find out exactly what they want. So look at me. I entered the shop. The owner of the company is there. She's the one who runs the whole place. I greeted her and I told her, I want to get some wine for some people, but I'm trying to reach them. So can you hold on for a second? He said, okay, sir. So I was calling them. They weren't answering. And she saw me trying to reach them. And through that, the call came. And I answered, Nana, my surprise, the woman just flared up. I said, if I show all the over inside, why? No better on some. Nana, I was shocked. It just came like that. Just yesterday. And I just say, oh, ma, because she's older. So I just say, ma, so maybe I make you say, me from my family, son of a console and picking up a check. I come on me. That's what she said. So I just got out, didn't go in again, went one, what is elsewhere. Now, this thing we are talking about, if you want to change it, you have to start from the baby. So after them paying for 1 year, the damage is done already. Oh, yes. The damage is done already.
Now, see, like when we go to most homes, maybe not every home, but generally most homes, Ghanaian homes, from north to south, there's a welcoming ritual that we do at home.
Sure.
So why don't we do that in the shop? Why? Why don't we welcome people when they come to our businesses?
I don't know. Now, is it that when we are home, we feel like it's mandatory? It's our home, so we have to put up a good face over there. And when we go out there into people's work, well, it's not ours. And a hundred crime, we want to crime. After all, the service is like doing a favor to you. Maybe that could be the mentality, because just like you said, somebody will be very nice to you in their home, and that same person, you meet the person at the office, and it's a different story. Nana, so where is the disconnect? Because to my thinking, what we do in the house somehow transcends when we go outside. Or
I don't know.
So where's the disconnect, Nana? Maybe let's find the question mark.
Let's find
the disconnect.
Professors, he be as a mutio, psychology professor, Dr. Collins, Dr. Riafino. What do we lose all of a sudden when we leave home and get to a work premises? It's the same visitor that has come. Maybe this time we don't offer a chair and water, but the usual good morning. Oh, what happened in the shop or the business setting? Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Edan. I'm calling from Cape Coast.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Yes, it's a very great program that is being aired out there. And then I would like to talk about the relationship between investment and inheritance. You see, these are two thin lines when it comes to customer relations.
Okay.
I stand for correction though, but when you look on our street, those who are actually investing the little sweat that they have gathered in terms of their own resources, you see how they are able to chase customers. When they are even in car, they're running here and there to make sure they get customers to buy their produce. You see, but when you sometimes go to someone who might be fortunate to operate on an inherited container, you see the kind of like a bicycle attitude that they approach towards, customer service. So I would draw that thin line between investment and inheritance. Sometimes when that line is not well drawn, that is where people sometimes go overboard and do things haphazardly. So I suggest that the public education is being intensified so that they'll know that it takes a lot of sweat to even obtain an inheritance from someone to relate well with customers. Because actually, the proponents of businesses do not act like that until it is passed on to the inherited people. Thank you.
I think those who really, break their backs to get it usually, work a bit harder to maintain it than those who were handed on the silver platter. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello.
Hi. Hello, who am I talking to?
Chidiak.
Chidiak, it's been a while.
Yes.
Let me hear you.
Thank you. When owners of business are pretending to pay their staff, the staff will also pretend to work.
That's a point.
That's number one. Number two, on Sundays, 70 to 80% of Ghanaians are in churches. And they don't know that service to man is service to God. All they understand is prosperity. Forgotten that the work that you do is what fits you for you to become prosperous. We get everything wrong in this nation. The churches are not doing their work. They're exploiting the people. That is what we are going to inherit as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Good evening. My name is Kwabna Mensah.
Kwabna.
And I'm speaking to you from Anjingano.
Kwabna, let me hear you.
I think this is a very, very important topic. We see this every day. I think it cuts across. And I believe the education would have to start earlier, maybe at a JHS level, because customer service, whether it's from a boss to a subordinate or you having a customer coming from outside, we all have it wrong. The way manner we talk to people, I think courtesy is lost. You raised an issue about us being very kind to visitors when they come to our homes. That hospitality is there. But when we go outside, we don't exhibit that in our various workplaces. It's just sort to do with us having to create impressions to people. And I think within our current culture, as a norm that we know has to be done at home. But carrying it to a business is something that we lack. And it has to start young. From a very young age, we need to plant this in our kids. I have had a lot of terrible experiences when it comes to the civil service. There are moments where you get there very early. We understand the place opens up at about 8 o'clock in the morning. You get there and you find someone taking cocoa with bread, whilst you have people there that are in there for serious business. And then, a bad experience I had, I think it had to do with a Lebanese guy who wanted a service from, I wouldn't mention the ministry. And we got there quite early. The lady was busy taking her tea and bread. And this guy complained. And she got annoyed. And the guy demanded, I want to speak to your boss. And when the boss also walked in, he clearly told us that it was early in the morning and the lady was allowed to eat. So he doesn't know what the problem is. And I was quite amazed. Because in our own country, we don't cultivate the habits of doing this. But when we go out there, we hear all the time that when Ghanaians get out of Ghana and they work elsewhere, they are very disciplined. But when it comes to our own, we lack a lot. So I would rather advise that the education is taken really seriously, and it has to start from a very tender age.
Thank you for doing the listening, and thank you even more for calling. Hello, who's talking to me?
Isaac James, Nana.
Jones.
Isaac James.
Isaac James. Let me hear you, Ike.
Nana, thank you so much for this program. In fact, and for Rebecca said, you want to say, Papa dear.
I know, right?
So they do what they want. If you talk A, then they put it on you. Are you the only saint? And one person was saying we should start education from the university. I think the SHS level will be better, because a lot of people that go into customer service, most of them are not have not gone to university. So if we can do that from the SHS level, it will help. Nana, and also, as somebody said, employers pretend to pay their employees, and the employees pretend to work. And now I work for a public institution. I provide service for them. For over 1 year now, I've not been paid so that I can also pay my staff. So I owe my staff some money for some months. So if you go and they don't work well, you can't talk. So there are so much problems. But I think the customer service education is very, very important that we have to put it in our institutions to start teaching our children. God richly bless you, Nana.
God bless you too, my brother. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, just Fred from Kanishi.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Hello.
Sorry, let me hear you.
Yeah, am I still there?
Yeah, you're here.
Right. I was using my headset, so I've disconnected it. Nana, we call something in our parlance, and that's what many of us do. We have the big positions. They will go and then sit in the office, and then nothing is done. At the end of the month, they are paid. That is lack of efficiency. And everything that we put in place, the money that we spend on you, become waste. Every year we go for money or as loans, and then we come and then we buy luxuries. More of them will go into little infrastructure. How can we move on? Many of the youth are also not having this kind of purpose-driven life in terms of whatever that opportunity they have, how to utilize it. It is very sad. We have the big opportunities, but we're supposed to have the purpose and then how we're supposed to drive it for the goodness of ourselves. Many of us are not privileged to get it bigly to make it, but it is not easy. But you just have to make sure that you manage yourself properly and then move on without any skirmishes and whatever. Of course, you might either fall or whatever, but you still have to make sure that you learn. You put knowledge in yourself, whether somebody is helping you or not. It's very, very, very sad seeing many youth going astray for now, especially some of the elders also pushing them into certain way of living, which is very bad. So I thank you for this program this evening. God richly bless you.
Thank you too, my brother. This is probably the longest running independent show on TV. Longest running independent show on TV. Currently on Joy Prime. And it's the Standpoint. 15th anniversary, 23rd of August. The venue is the La Palm Beach Hotel, time 9 a.m. And they're having a wonderful, wonderful conference. 15 years of listening to the feminine side, and the keynote speaker is Lema Bowie. Lema Bowie is a Nobel Peace Laureate in 2011. She's flying in from Liberia to give a wonderful, wonderful keynote address. There are going to be 2 panel discussions, the adult side and the youth side. So Henry Giftianti is inviting each and every one of you this Wednesday 23rd to La Palm Beach Hotel. It promises to be very engaging, one of 15 years of listening to the feminists. 15 years. Independently produced for 15 years. Well done, well done. We shall all see you there this Wednesday 23rd at 9 a.m. La Palm Beach Hotel. Happy birthday to you, Reverend Kwabna Mustafa of Yendi. very, very charismatic Osofo. Very charismatic Osofo. Folks, you know it. Until the lions have their own historians, tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV. And, well, Abeku Sankofi was on the ones and twos. The man with the golden phone is here. Maxwell Agbagba to give you your news bulletin. Kofi Hayford has lined up some soul-searching songs. Don't you even touch that dial.